If I were moving to Southeast Coastal North Carolina in 2026, I'd be incredibly intentional because the greater Wilmington area, it isn't just one place. Depending on where you land, your entire lifestyle looks completely different. In this video, I'll share where I'd personally live in the greater Wilmington area if I were moving here today. Hi, I'm Kimberly Crouch with eXp Realty. I help people at all stages of life move here every week, and I've seen firsthand what makes people love where they land and what makes people wish they'd done more homework before they bought. Let's start with where I'd personally plant roots and the specific reasons these areas stand out from everything else on the coast. The Mayfaire area. That's my personal pick. So Mayfaire is this area that is just a few miles from Wrightsville Beach. So the location is one that people who want to be close to Wrightsville Beach really like. So when I think about what matters most to me personally, for my husband and me, the answer was pretty clear. We go to Wrightsville Beach almost every single day, sometimes more than once, not just in the summer, but year round. The beach isn't a weekend treat for us, it's just a Tuesday. So layered on top of that, we really wanted walkability. Walk to a restaurant for dinner, grab groceries without getting in the car. That stuff just adds up to a completely different quality of life. And what I didn't fully appreciate until we'd been here a while is how this little pocket of Wilmington manages to feel like a small town and a fully equipped suburb at the same time. Another thing I didn't fully understand until living here is the difference a mile or two can make. Where I am, I can get to the beach easily and still drive 5 minutes to hot yoga and 15 minutes to downtown if I want to go there. The Cross City Bike Trail is steps from my front door, and it gets me to the beach via bike in about 15 minutes. But I'm a mile from the water, not on the water, and I'm not in a flood zone, or I'm in the X flood zone as we call it. That's a distinction that matters enormously when you start looking at insurance costs and long-term risk. And that's why if I were moving here again tomorrow, I'd land in the exact same place. Now, if we're dreaming a little bit, let me tell you about the areas that would be at the very top of my list if budget were no object. The Airlie Road and Summer Rest neighborhoods. They are some of the most beautiful stretches of real estate in all of Wilmington. Large, stunning coastal homes on streets lined with the kind of mature trees and landscaping that take decades to grow. Walkable to waterfront restaurants and bars where you can boat up and park. And it has this quiet, established elegance that feels completely removed from the hustle of Wrightsville Beach and downtown Wilmington, even though you're just minutes from everything. And right in the middle of it all is Airlie Gardens, 67 acres of breathtaking coastal gardens with centuries-old live oaks covered in Spanish moss, outdoor concerts on the lawn, and the ultra-popular sold-out Enchanted Airlie holiday lights during the holiday season. Prices for single-family homes here start around $1.5 million and go up from there. But for buyers at that price point, it generally delivers on everything that price promises. And then there's Wrightsville Beach itself. If being on the island is your dream, there are condo options starting around $500,000 and single family around $1.5 million. You're not just near the beach, you're on it. You walk out the door and the ocean is right there. Most of the options are single family with little HOA maintenance, but there are some lock and leave condominium options there on the beach that also allow you to rent on a short-term basis if you choose. Now, let's talk about what's actually happening in this market. This entire region, New Hanover, Brunswick, and Pender counties, grew significantly before COVID, and then the pandemic essentially hit the accelerator, like a lot of areas in the Sun Belt. New Hanover County doesn't have a lot of land left to build on, so prices respond directly to demand, and demand hasn't let up. Our median home price in Wilmington has almost doubled since 2020 and is currently somewhere around $475,000. Brunswick County is where the builders are. Every major national home builder has been acquiring land and building communities there, and that build out is still very much in progress. Pender County is the slightly quieter place, slightly less expensive than Wilmington proper, still close, still coastal, and growing steadily as buyers discover it. The fundamentals that brought people here haven't changed. The weather, the lifestyle, the price point relative to where they're coming from, it all still makes sense. If you're wondering how in the world you're ever going to figure out where you want to be, particularly if you aren't close by, click below and download my free 22-page Coastal North Carolina location decision guide. This will give you details about the various beaches in our area area and what's available in each one. And then you can figure out which town around those beaches you want to be in. If you're just starting your search, this is a great place to start, and you're always welcome to reach out to me. Now, if I were a young professional working remotely or just wanting to be somewhere that feels alive without feeling like a resort town, I'd be looking for areas that balance energy, convenience, and access. Let me walk you through my top picks. Downtown Wilmington. So let me paint you a picture of downtown Wilmington. Think boutiques and quirky coffee shops tucked into historic storefronts, fantastic restaurants, a river walk that's beautiful and walkable, not just to pass along some water, outdoor music venues, wine tastings, speakeasies, funky old bars, karaoke, live theater, art galleries, pottery shops, vintage shops. It's all there, and it's all small enough that it feels personal and not overwhelming. Streets lined with massive live oaks and forest hills, historic homes that have been refurbished in the historic district, walkable to the riverfront area from there. Just a few blocks east, you'll find the Soda Pop district, often called a hipster-centric area with breweries, galleries, and growth. Cool neighborhoods with California craftsman-style bungalows in Carolina Place, not far from the Cargo district with its wine bars and restaurants, and the Castle Street Antique and Arts district. Right on the river and in the middle of the downtown center, you'll find luxury high-rise condominiums like River Place overlooking the Cape Fear River. They're just beautiful. I love showing those. One thing to remember here, parking can be an issue downtown. Make sure you understand the parking situation wherever you buy. Second, the UNCW area. That's the University of North Carolina at Wilmington. This kind of triangle corridor has a really accessible price point compared to neighborhoods that border Wrightsville Beach. You'll find older single-family brick ranch homes as well as townhome options that work really well for someone just planting roots here and starting out. You're close to UNCW, which brings with it a young and creative community energy and some of Wilmington's most affordable everyday conveniences. And Wrightsville Beach is just minutes away, so you're not sacrificing beach access just because you're being smart about your price point. Next, if I were back in the part of my life when I was raising a family, the greater Wilmington area has some genuinely exceptional options. So I want to talk about an area rather than a specific neighborhood because the Ogden and Middle Sound Loop corridor is really a collection of hundreds of smaller communities, and that's actually what makes it so compelling. The price range here runs from roughly the mid 300,000s all the way up to 1.5 million and above. Waterfront, golf course, established subdivisions, newer construction. What ties it all together is the location. You're close to Mayfair, close to schools, close to activities, and close to Wrightsville Beach without being right on top of any of it. Everything is genuinely close. And just north of Ogden, the Porter's Neck area picks up right where Middle Sound leaves off. It has its own self-contained feel, a commercial corridor with grocery stores, shops, and restaurants, so day-to-day errands don't require a long drive into Wilmington proper. Anchor's Bend is one of many neighborhoods in this area with a luxury style, new construction, mid-price points, somewhere around the $500,000 to $600,000 range. And they're townhomes anchoring this neighborhood. Single family homes start around $750,000 and go up, but you'll see kids out on bikes and people walking through this neighborhood. Now, all the neighborhoods here span a wide range of price points and styles, from newer construction communities like Lake Farm, with townhomes starting around $325,000 and single families ranging from about $400,000 to $600,000. One existing and one being built amenity centers, including clubhouse, pool, and pickleball, to established subdivisions. And then as you move along the Intracoastal Waterway, you get some really special properties. There are several ICW front communities here, some with boat slips for buyers who want that waterfront access without oceanfront pricing. And then there's Porter's Neck Plantation. It's guard gated, a Tom Fazio designed golf course, country club, amenities, all of that. A full resort lifestyle in a private setting. And important to most parents, if you cross over into Pender County, you are in the school district that, based on data from greatschools.org, has schools that get some of the highest ratings in the Wilmington metro area. Next up is landfall. Now, if we're talking about the most well-known, prestigious area in Wilmington and near Wrightsville Beach, we're talking about Landfall. Landfall is Wilmington's premier gated community. 2,200 acres, 24-hour staffed gates, and some of the most beautifully landscaped streets you've ever driven through. The man-made ponds, the mature trees, the manicured lawns, it just has this quiet, established elegance that's hard to replicate. The Country Club of Landfall is the centerpiece, and it's genuinely world class. 45 holes of championship golf designed by Jack Nicklaus and Pete Dye, 2 full-service clubhouses, an Olympic-sized pool, tennis, pickleball, a full fitness center designed by tennis Hall of Famer Cliff Drysdale. The social calendar is packed year-round: wine tastings, family nights, golf tournaments, junior programs. Club membership is elective, and it's not required. Homes here range from roughly $750,000 and they go up through several $1 million. Homes built in the 80s up to new construction by custom builders. ICW front properties, golf course views, pond side lots, and everything in between. There are about 1,550 homes on nearly 2,000 lots, with over 4.5 miles of waterfront property inside the gates. What I love about Landfall, beyond the obvious luxury, is how livable it actually feels day to day. I regularly see kids out biking on the roads, runners and walkers on the sidewalks. There are 29 miles of paved roads inside the community. It's generally a place people live in, not just a backdrop for a nice address. And the location, you just can't beat it. You're 5 minutes from Wrightsville Beach. Mayfaire and the shops at Lumina are right outside the gates at different entry points. Bike paths connect you directly to the beach, or you can pick up the Cross City Trail and ride all the way into downtown Wilmington if you want to. Now, I'd be leaving out a big part of the picture if I didn't mention central Wilmington, the Monkey Junction area, and the neighborhoods heading north from there. This is where you find some of the best value in the entire market. More house for your dollar, established suburban neighborhoods, and a really convenient location that doesn't require beach proximity to make sense. The retail access here is genuinely excellent. You have Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Costco, Target, all the everyday conveniences that matter when you're actually living somewhere, not just visiting it. And according to greatschools.org, some schools that get some of the highest ratings in New Hanover County are located here. And here's something worth noting about all of these areas we've talked about today. They're all close to Wilmington International Airport and Interstate 40. Now, if I were entering retirement or just finally simplifying life after decades in a high-cost city, coastal North Carolina would be at the very top of my list. And there's a lot of reasons for that. The weather, the healthcare access, the community, and the ability to have a genuinely active lifestyle, if that's what you're looking for, without the premium you'd pay in South Florida or the Mid-Atlantic coast. Let me walk you through my top picks for me personally if I were at this life stage. Let's talk about Riverlights, because this one is genuinely in a category of its own. Riverlights is a true master planned community. It's about 15 minutes from Carolina Beach and 15 minutes from downtown Wilmington. Wrightsville Beach is probably about 25 minutes by car. And what makes it stand out isn't any single feature, it's how completely thought out the whole thing is. Miles of walking trails, sidewalks throughout, dog parks, a resort style pool, pickleball courts, and a fitness center with classes. The kind of infrastructure that makes you actually want to go outside every day. But the Marina Village is what really sets Riverlights apart. There are restaurants, a coffee shop, boutique shops, and a working day dock marina. And the housing options in Riverlights are remarkable in their range. You have traditional 2-story single-family homes starting in the upper 400,000s, luxury townhomes, some with elevators, the Del Webb 55+ section with single-story homes designed specifically for active adult living, and semi-custom homes ranging from roughly $800,000 to $1.5 million, some with stunning river views. Let's talk about the Mayfaire Corridor, because it's honestly one of the best places for buyers who are downsizing or simplifying their lives. It's really good for every stage. The walkability factor becomes even more valuable to a lot of people. Being able to walk to dinner or to the grocery store or just to step outside and go for a walk without needing to get in a car, that's a quality of life upgrade that a lot of people retiring tell me is very important to them. Wrightsville Beach is just 10 minutes away, the airport is 10 minutes away, and Mayfaire Town Center is essentially right there. In addition, there's a Class A shopping center development planned in the next several years. Single-story ranch homes built in the 1970s, beautiful condos that are truly lock and leave in the village at Mayfaire, and several neighborhoods with patio homes like Sea Spray Landing, that sweet spot of having your own space and yard without the upkeep burden of a larger property. And then there's Brunswick County. Brunswick County is home to a collection of small, charming coastal towns. Ocean Isle Beach, Holden Beach, Sunset Beach, Calabash, Southport, Carolina Shores, Oak Island, many of them sitting just over the Intracoastal Waterway from the beach. These are quieter, more rural communities with a slower pace of life. The value here is real. New construction, single-story homes starting around $300,000. That's a number that's essentially disappeared from the New Hanover market. If you want more house, more land, lower price point, and you're not tied to being 5 minutes from Wilmington every day, Brunswick County's coastal towns deserve a serious look. And the crown jewel of this entire area, in my opinion, and honestly, one of the most impressive planned communities I've seen anywhere on the East Coast, is St. James Plantation. St. James is a gated community that has invested over $100 million in resort-style amenities available through club membership. 81 holes of championship golf across 4 courses, a 475-slip marina, both wet and dry slips, right on the ICW, 4 clubhouses with 5 dining options, state-of-the-art fitness centers, multiple pools, tennis, pickleball, and over 100 social clubs. And every homeowner, regardless of club membership, gets complimentary access to parks, over 36 miles of scenic walking and biking trails, and a private oceanfront beach club with a pool and parking on Oak Island. You cannot beat that. The trade-off is distance. These communities are roughly 45 to 60 minutes from Wilmington's airport and the heart of the city. But for buyers whose priority is space, value, coastal beauty, and a rich amenity lifestyle, that drive is a very worthwhile trade. Now, before we wrap up, I want to share a few things about this area that I think are really important for anyone considering a retirement or downsizing move here. Healthcare is something that comes up in almost every conversation I have with buyers at this life stage, and this region delivers. New Hanover Regional Medical Center is one of the top healthcare systems in coastal North Carolina. The weather here is genuinely exceptional. Mild winters with essentially no snow. This year is a bit of an anomaly. And outdoor recreation that's accessible 10 to 11 months out of the year, if not 12. You're on the water, on the trails, on the pickleball court in January, and the cultural life surprises people. Wilmington has the Cape Fear Museum, the Wilson Center for Performing Arts, Riverfest, a thriving jazz scene, and a restaurant scene that gets national attention. On the Brunswick County side, there's the added bonus of Southport. Think Nicholas Sparks' novel setting. One of the most charming small towns on the entire Carolina coast. Waterfront dining, boutique shopping, a historic downtown that feels like it's from another era in the best possible way. And if you're in the eastern part of Brunswick County, in those beach towns close to the South Carolina border, you're also within a reasonable drive of North Myrtle Beach and everything that brings. A couple of honest trade-offs to keep in mind. The Brunswick County coastal communities are about 45 minutes from downtown Wilmington. It's not a hard drive, but it is a drive. And if you're looking at Del Webb at Riverlights specifically, new construction is largely sold out in that community. You're shopping resale at this point. Riverlights also sits about 20 minutes from both Carolina Beach and Wrightsville Beach, about 15 to 20 minutes. It's not far, but worth knowing before you buy. My honest take, if you want community, structure, and an activity calendar that makes it impossible to be bored, Riverlights and St. James Plantation are hard to beat. If proximity to the water and shopping every single day is your primary driver, then the Mayfaire Corridor is it. And if you want to be a short drive to the beach, but have a tighter budget, Brunswick County's beach towns are where I'd focus your search. So if you're thinking about making a move to coastal North Carolina, I'd love to help you figure out which of these communities actually fits your life. I'm Kimberly Crouch, your coastal North Carolina relocation specialist. I've helped buyers from all over the country find their right fit in this market. You can call or text me at my number right here and below, and if you're not ready to reach out yet, it's no worries. Start with my free coastal relocation decision guide. You can click on the link below and download it for free. It's 22 pages long, and it will help you get started with your home search and figure out just what area is best for you.